And we should be recording. Waiting for my other laptop to boot up. Waiting for other students to log in while we are recording. Go ahead, mute that. Jump in here so that way I can see what the students see from my second computer while still accessing it from my teacher laptop, control unit. Camera is starting. Going to switch over to there. Turn that
Bluetooth pairing. Power off.
All right, you guys, let's get this thing going. Just trying to make sure I got everything set up where it needs to be so I can see what you guys are seeing. All right, so on the first page, what you should be seeing right now is the Google Classroom. In the Google Classroom, I'm going to click on this here. My students that are in my class have the hard copy of this. Virtual students, you will have this copy. So this is a flow or a checklist of things that we should be doing today, as much of it as possible. So we've already watched the video yesterday. We're going to do the quizzes later after we get done with this. So we're going to start with number 3, where it says brainstorm your news stories. After we do that, it says do the quizzes on the 5 W's. We'll get to that. We'll write our script, which is what we're going to talk about doing. Because the brainstorming are 3 news stories, we're going to do 2 news stories instead of 3 news stories. We're going to do 2 instead of 3. I've already picked your 2 stories for you, so you can go ahead and check that box, that third box. And then we're going to skip down to where it says write your T-script. So my students who are in my class, look on the back side of the first page. For the students who are in virtual lands, this is what the students will see on the back side of their first page. I'm going to present this so I can make it just a little bit bigger so that I can see what I'm supposed to be reading. So video, a description for this box, everybody will leave this blank. The very first box that says video and audio, you will leave that blank. Every box that underneath audio where it says good morning, everybody, even though it is very clearly the afternoon, what I want you guys to do, that is your introduction. That's the first thing that people will say as a news anchor. We're practicing being a news anchor first, so that way everybody knows all of the parts when we start putting this together. So on your paper, what you will do, or on your PDF that you'll do in Cami, is you're going to actually write or type what you will say on camera, exactly what you're going to say. They've given you an example. I'm going to read the example. Good morning, everybody, even though it is clearly the afternoon, and welcome to SGN. John, what is SGN? That's a good question. For years now, I've been wondering what it's like, why there's not a new show dedicated entirely to a good thing. So ours is not going to be SGN. It's going to be RSN. RSN, Read Science News. Read Science News. And then transition, what you're going to say to go to the next segment. So without further ado, here is some Read Science News. That's what you're going to write on your paper, because that way you can just read it strictly from your paper. Lead story. Our lead story is going to be COVID-19 vaccinations. And so we're going to write where it says the audio on the right side. That's where you're going to write what you would actually say. So I posted a video there. You can watch the video maybe once or twice, figure out what you would say, excuse me, in your own words, and then you're going to write or type what you're going to say. This way, when you get on camera, you already know what you're going to say. You've already practiced it a couple times. Boom. So when you look at the lead story, the side that says video, we're going to leave that blank right now because we already have a video that we can play. We'll play that video with the volume down, and you'll be talking next to it or over top of it, however we want to do it. So I'm going to pause for a second because I just said a whole lot. Push 7 in the chat if you have a question. Push 3 in the chat if you have no questions and you're ready to go. 7 if you have a question. 3 if you don't have a question and you're ready to go. Max, I see your 3. Andrew, I see your 3. Richard, I see your 3. Bristol, I see your 3. If you type 3, you can go ahead and get started. I'm going to hang on here. I'm going to turn my microphone off, but if you have a question, you can type in the chat or you can unmute. Does anybody have a question about what we need to be doing? Now, before I mute myself, push 5 if you'd like to have a breakout rooms so that you guys can have a partner. Some people like it, some people don't, but I can make it happen if you need me to. I don't see any 5s, so how do we edit it? It's view only. Good question. I'll change the you might have to make a copy. See if you can make a copy, and then I'll see if I can change the settings on my end. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll also add it to the stream as a PDF. I gave it to you as a Google Slides. I'll also put it on there as a PDF to make it easy for y'all. To make it easy for y'all. File, browse. All right, so now it's on as a PDF. You can open it up as a CAMI file, and you should be good. I took the Google Slides off and made it a CAMI file. Thank you for that.